So folks, here it is. The Doc's going to talk about the Trauma Center series. So there you go, Doc. How did you first discover this series? Of course, you're a doctor. That makes sense why you would like it. But all in all, tell us what it is about that captivates you about this. When you first discovered it. Let's start with that. Your first discovery of the series.
I don't know who introduced me. I think I probably saw the game at like GameStop or EB Games when I was young, because like back then they would have the games on display. You could see the pictures, and I was like, "Oh, mommy, if I get this game, I'll become a doctor." I basically said that to my mom to debate her into getting it for me when I was very young, like 10 or something. I was like, "Mommy, it's a doctor game. It'll train me to be going to med school." I gaslighted my mother because like she's in medicine, and
Okay.
she really wanted me. I think I'm not sure if she gave up, but for many many years she's wanted me to get into medicine. Like I do have an interest, but um, I think I don't want to become an actual doctor in an actual hospital. I still
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in medicine because of being surrounded by it, and I really like medical dramas in particular, like medical dramas and cooking dramas, not cooking dramas. Like it's hard to explain. Like I was a cook for like 2 years. I
Cool.
really like the intensity of fields like that are very practical and serious.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels really real to me. But yeah,
Oh.
I was really into this series because I love the art style, and it had that uh medical drama aspect to it, and also the gameplay is pretty interesting. It's really unique, I would say.
Oh, nice. Oh,
I don't.
one sec, Doc. I just want to acknowledge chat. Welcome, Okami
Yeah.
Gude. Okami has been with me for a very long time, so I just wanted to acknowledge them. Welcome to the chat. This is Dr. Punica. Their socials have just appeared. Please follow them. They are wonderful. They're talking about Trauma Center, why this series has captivated them. So go on. You like the art style, the gameplay. Continue.
Thank you, thank you. Sorry if you hear my assistant. She's rather loud. Sometimes she's barking in the distance. But
Oh, that's okay. She's very
yeah,
welcomed here. We love your assistant here.
yeah. Thank you, thank you. She's in a different room. That's why she's not on my lap right now. But
Indeed, Mimi. Woo,
yeah,
Doctor. Yes. Best collab partner
yes,
for KFC, says Mimi.
yeah. Though I'm not sure if I'm a good KFC collab partner, because I honestly really shit on KFC. I'm like, Korean chicken's better. But anyways, yeah, trauma center. I don't know. I'm just really attracted to dramas involving like I have like three main loves in my life, like passions, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
like art, cooking, and like surgery and medicine.
Nice.
Like when I was like 10 or 12, I was just very upset because I wanted to become a chef, a surgeon, and an artist all at once, but you can't. For me, I don't want to do all three at once because you can't really dedicate yourself to something if you're dipping your toes in different things.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, like that's how I envision it. Like, because for surgeons, they spend like 5 days a week, 12 to 14 hours in the hospital. So there's no way you could be a cook and an artist at the same time. And
No.
then for artists, like usually you spend around that much time too. If you, I like for the sort of artists I want to become, like the ones that are like, I guess someone that's like Michelangelo level of artistry, I would say.
That's a lot of
Like,
dedication.
yeah, like for me, I'd rather dedicate myself rather than being wishy-washy. And then for cooking, the cooking's the same. I realized that because I was actually a cook for 2 years at a
Yeah. No, you said that.
rather, yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry,
at a
sorry, sorry, Doc.
prestigious restaurant.
I just want
Yeah.
to. We'll get back to the cook about that involving trauma. I want to acknowledge chat again. Mimi says you're the best. Woo! And also, hello, Anatis. Welcome, my duck friend. How are you? I hope you're doing very well. Doc's talking about their life and professions in regards to trauma center and whatnot. So we're here
Yeah.
celebrating that. Go on, Doc. So you're talking about you were a cook for 2 years. How you can't juggle that, be a surgeon, an artist,
Yeah.
and a cook, and now you're on the cooking part.
Yeah, like that's sorry, I ended up starting to talk about my life. It's just that trauma team is really intertwined, like to me as a person, my interests.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the one series, like the first series I would say I've become obsessed with, and I'm still in love with the series. I would say the Trauma Center series does not age. Oh yeah. No, no. I asked you. No, it's a misunderstanding. I asked you, are you free after this day? I didn't say an actual day. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyways.
Yeah. And not to just say
Actress.
surgery tomorrow with PUNICA. They forgot about me. No.
It was a misunderstanding. I didn't think it was the 24th. Ah! I asked you, are you free after the 17th or after the 24th? Because I was confirming it. Because I said next week, and I wasn't sure next week as in the 17th or next week as in the 24th because we were talking on the 16th. Okay.
There you go, not this. No need to heckle my guest here, okay?
Please, I'm spilling my guts out right now. Please.
Yes, the doctor is just trying to talk about Trauma Center.
Yeah, but
so you'll get that set out. You'll get that set out. Anyway, you said the Trauma Center series has definitely has a spot in your heart, and you're still actually quite in love with the series. So
yeah, like the fandom's really small. Whenever I hear of someone still into it, I'm like, you are so cultured. I love you. But also like for Trauma Center, like the series in general, like it made it an art style that basically doesn't age. The only difference is like if it's on a Wii game, you would basically only have to like amp up the graphics. Like
okay,
Trauma Team basically was released on the Wii, then they re-released it on the Wii U, and it looks like a brand new game. It doesn't really age as long as you put it on the newest system. Like because it's not like 3D and that shit. Like it's mostly 2D, right? And the art's fantastic, phenomenal. Like the background's beautiful, the characters like I would say the Trauma Center series, I forgot the name of the artist. Like I think it starts with a D or something.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this artist that did Trauma Center and Trauma Team is now does a lot of God, what was that Atlas game? Not Devil Survivor.
Persona?
No, not Persona. It's like the other one. Atlas.
Look it up. Look it up. We got time here. We're talking about the Trauma Center series. Take all the time you need.
It has like 5 games. It's like really. It's not Devil. Oh, Shin Megami Tensei. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like I believe they're mainly doing art for those games. Like I believe there's a 5th game or something. It's like doing pretty well. Like unfortunately, like they stopped doing Trauma Center games. Like the last game they released was in 2010, which is fairly unfortunate.
Oh, okay.
And that being said, it's still like even if it's that old, it still looks good as long as you play on a newer system. It looks fantastic. It did not age, but yeah, they're not making games for Trauma Center anymore, unfortunately.
That's too bad. That sounds like what you got though made an impact, and certainly was a reason to bring it up here.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
do you have like a favorite game of the series?
Trauma Team for sure because it was their last game, and I would say for that one they tried something very new. Like for the other games, like for Second Opinion and New Blood. Those 2 are like, you know, like normal visual novels with some surgery in it. And then Trauma Team, they basically incorporated they definitely had some art direction towards it. Like they tried to incorporate manga like style to their cutscenes.
Cool.
It's really unique. Like I haven't seen it. It's not very I haven't seen many games do it. It's like really noticeable. It's like very interesting the way they approached it.
Yeah, it's unique. It stands out.
Yeah, like it literally like the whole game plays as a comic. It's really cool.
Ooh, and this one, as you said, what was it? Trauma Team?
Yeah, Trauma Team. Like the one with the 6 protagonists. I believe if you're on the same image, it's the bottom one. Like you could start with Trauma Team, but I personally would say play Second Opinion first because Second Opinion has 2 protagonists and yeah, I believe Second Opinion's the image above. The person with like blue eyes, whitish blue hair, she's a protagonist in that game and then continues on in the next game. So I would say at least play those 2.
Back to back, I gotcha.
Yeah. And then from Second Opinion, there's a sequel to it, which is only on the 3DS or DS. And it's very hard to get. It's very hard to play. You have to,
eBay.
You have to contact a pirate if you know what I mean.
Oh,
or
that difficult to acquire. Wow. And not just says
or
rawr.
Or you can go on eBay and get it for $100.
Yowza!
Yeah, it's a very rare game.
Did you get it like off the shelves, or did you have to pay extra to get yours?
I borrowed it.
Oh, you borrowed it. Gotcha. Oh yes, thank you for the hydrate redeem there, Anatis. Drink
I'll
it.
drink too.
Yep, drink up, Doc. Drink up, Doc.
Yeah, not many people have played the sequel to Second Opinion. Like, I would recommend playing Second Opinion first. Like, Second Opinion is basically a remake of the DS game.
Okay.
Like, and it's like a remake that's on the Wii. I would say skip the DS game because like the Wii game's the same thing but better, and it has a new protagonist. Oh, good
Gotcha.
night,
Oh, good
Attis.
night, Anatis. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. Sleep well, Ducky.
Good night. But yeah, you basically can go Second Opinion. Like basically from Second Opinion, you have two games to follow up with. Like the sequel of Second Opinion, you can play, but you can skip it. But Trauma Team is much more worth it, I would say. And then there's New Blood. You can play that by itself. You don't need to play any other game.
Oh, cool. It's a standalone story.
Yeah, it's standalone. I think it's basically because for Second Opinion and the Second Opinion sequel, they obviously take place in Japan. And in the English version, they're like, "We're in Los Angeles, we're in San Francisco."
Huh.
It's not. They tell you that, and they rename people. They're like Derek Styles, or they're like Angie. And then the original, they had like Japanese names. And yeah, Naomi, she's like a Japanese doctor in the original, and then she sometimes goes to America, which is kind of I don't remember how they did it in like the English version because they're like we're in America, we're not in Japan. They did that bullshit. And then Trauma Team and New Blood for sure takes place in North America.
Okay.
Like yeah, like New Blood, it's they don't go to Japan at all. There's no Japanese people. And then Trauma Team, like I believe there's at least two or three two at least. Two of the protagonists are Japanese, so it has Japanese influences to it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not like New Blood that's like fully in America. It just feels very different. Like I don't know how to describe it. You can definitely tell um sometimes when a game is made by Japanese people and it takes place in North America, sometimes it feels like they incorporate too much North American stereotypes. That's how I felt
Ah, I
for New
see.
Blood.
I see.
I was like, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's too stereotypical, but that's how I felt when I played it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's still good. But yeah, I'm really sad that there's no more games of it. But it makes sense because it actually did much better in North America rather than in Japan, like the Trauma Center series for some reason.
Oh, Japan it didn't really
Yeah.
fly as it wasn't really as successful in Japan, mostly in America.
Yeah, well, it makes sense because like maybe half of it takes place in North America, but also the last game, I think they did a really good job of it, and I feel like um they were expecting it to be a bigger hit, and if it like did much better, it probably would have gone sequels, but yeah, I think it didn't do as good as they hoped, so they just stopped after that game. Yeah, not only with Trauma Team, they added like the new art direction, but also they added new surgical specialties and fields,
Cool.
which was really cool. Yeah, because the all the previous games were just general surgery, like like cutting the abdomen, doing heart surgery,
Yeah.
just basic general surgery stuff. But this one had six doctors that specialized in six different things, so it was really interesting, I would say. I love the gameplay. Like two of them weren't even like surgical stuff, like the protagonist from the first game.
Mm-hmm.
She was originally like a normal general doctor. In the sequel, she does autopsies basically.
Ooh.
Yeah, she doesn't do surgeries anymore. And basically investigations a bit, like checking out crime scenes and checking out the bodies, stuff like that. I feel like she's covering like many different jobs in that one thing for some reason. I like, but anyways,
Thanks for the lurk, Dark
then
Snake.
thank you, Dark Snake. But also, there's this other doctor. It's basically a general, like the doctor we like you and I usually see, like a general doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Like once you come in and you're like, Doc, I don't feel that good. Like
Yes.
there's one of those docs, so that one's not surgically involved. And then there's an like what is it called? Not optometrist or starts with an O. Oh. The bone doctor, bone doctor.
Mm.
What are they called again? Orthopedics,
Orthopedics.
orthopedics.
There you go.
It's that one's very different and interesting. You basically only deal with bones, and then there's one that's
Cool.
uh you basically are emergency doctor, like those people that are on ambulances and provide first aid on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
That one's very like you want to have a heart attack, play that on hard mode.
Oh gosh.
That's how you start screaming. That's like yeah, I've replayed Trauma Team like probably like 4 times. Maybe this year or
Wow.
next year I'll replay it again. It's just like I wait a couple of years and I'm like, okay, it's time to replay it.
Cool. Do
I
you ever
love
plan
it.
to play it on stream, or you like just play it in your own time?
I probably will. I don't know when, but probably will. I love that game. I replay it like every couple of years, but
That's so cool.
that part always makes me scream. Like, because I hate playing on easy mode. Like Second Opinion in particular, I would say out of all the games is the hardest. But Trauma Team, if you are not on easy mode, it's a little bit hard.
Okay.
And then the other specialties are, I believe it's called endoscopic surgery. Basically they have that long like snake like probe, and they use a camera to like, cut inside the body, like inside stomachs and such. Like it's like a surgery done for like one of the surgeries was basically removing drugs from someone's body
Oh,
because they ingested too much drugs, and basically if their body fully like absorbed
digest
all the
it. Yeah.
drugs, they would die from the high volumes of like I don't remember what illegal substance it was, but you basically had to go in and pick up the chunks of that drug. Like very delicate surgeries like that. Like, you go like inside the body. I know for a lot of people, like for me, I was actually really good at maneuvering that camera, but I know whenever I played it with someone, they would fucking hate that that type of surgery because like I keep hitting the walls and they just start like that's definitely what pisses people off. And then I think did I cover all of them? Yeah, and then the last one is just general surgery, like my favorite, because like all the other games is basically this. It's just general surgery. You cut someone up, remove glass, that sort of thing.
Yes.
God, I want to replay it now.
That's good. That's the point of this to get you excited to play it again.
But like, yeah, like I just love surge, like the like drama, and I just love surgery in general. But I don't want to become a surgeon. I just love games like this because they kind of let me feel like I'm a surgeon without like spending 8 years studying
I know what
to
you're saying.
become a
Yeah.
doctor.
You get to
Yeah,
experience it and appreciate so much about it without having to go
yeah,
through the work of going into the actual field IRL. But this is a good way to
yeah.
experience something that you do enjoy, actually, that you do have a fascination with.
Yeah. Like I have that problem of like I love cooking, surgery, and art, and I basically had to make a choice. Like when I was like straight out of school, I definitely did want to do art, but my mom was like really we had a huge fight about it, and she's like, if you do art, I'll kick you out. And I was like, no, mommy, no. So I was like, I'll study some I'll study some medical medicine for you. She's like, good, good, you better. You won't become an artist and make no money. So yeah, but I studied some medicine. I also studied Japanese. So like, for a while, I was like sad that I wasted years of my life not doing art sooner. But
Mm-hmm.
that experience of basically studying Japanese, some medicine. I basically studied general college electives, and I don't regret it because I feel like it really opened my perspective. And I
Nice.
basically learned. I spent most of the time learning Japanese, to be honest. So I'm really thankful for that. Because if I straight up went into art, I would be losing a lot of my stats, my language stats. But yeah, eventually I did like I became a cook for like 2 years.
Yep.
and I fulfilled that desire to become a cook.
Oh, that's nice. We can touch back on that during the interview corner. Let's
Sorry, yeah.
No. You're not sorry. I love hearing the stories, and Trauma Center led to that. Do you want to wrap up Trauma Center here, and then we can move on?
Yeah, it's just that I just love Trauma Center since like it just it dives into like a lot of things I'm into. Like the art is beautiful. The
The
It's just the
procedures.
best sort of game. Yeah, the procedures are so interesting. Like you learned a lot. Like I'm really into medical dramas and games
Yeah.
like this, so I'm just like I can pretend to be a doctor. Sort of
So there you go,
thing.
folks. Trauma Center incorporates great art, which the doc is a fan of, as well as
Yeah.
intricate procedures, as well as difficult procedures, with second opinion being the most difficult in their humble opinion. But
Yeah.
don't be deceived by Trauma Team. That one can give you a run for your money as well, and that's the one that Doc will come back to every 2 years. So
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Highly recommend. It's the only one that's like on a different system. It's the only one that got that like beautiful reboot, you
there you
know?
go. So that so on
Yeah.
top of that, you got a reboot, and it's going to look gorgeous. So that one, you probably have a lot of fun playing, folks. The doc comes back to it every 2 years. That's a good recommendation right there. So give it up for Trauma Center for being something good for this doc, which encompassed two of their passions: art and medicine. So there you go. Thank you, Trauma Center. Check out particularly the Trauma Team. But again, play Second Opinion first, because going into Trauma Team, they kind of are companion pieces. Second Opinion is precedes it. So there
Yeah.
you go.
If you can only play like only a couple, Second Opinion then Trauma Team are the only ones I would recommend first.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Trauma Center.